Yes. It's audible to everybody. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So, good morning to everybody. And what I was telling is, life is full of uncertainties. And now we're about to start the session, and the network has gone out. So, this 20 is full of uncertainties. And with this uncertainties, we have to move ahead. So, hopefully, everybody had a great week, and wishing a good weekend and a great week ahead. We'll move to our session today. Anyway, we are late today because of these network issues. All right. So, in our last session, we have covered some yoga postures for getting relieved from stress and anxiety. Okay. And as per the demand, I had gone for yogas for actually focusing on stress relieving and to overcome anxiety. As I've told that the yoga postures are meant for many elements. Whenever you are attending any yogas or whenever you are doing any yoga posture, you are doing some yoga posture or performing some yogas, it doesn't mean that you are aiming for a single element to overcome a single element. It always goes for multi elements. Okay, a single yoga posture is meant for attending multi elements. So today our yoga will be mainly focusing on diabetes, because mainly people are having diabetes, and all the diseases are associated with this diabetes, sugar and BP. So previously also in our earlier sessions, we have gone through yoga postures doing for what? This fat burning, okay, or to counteract this obesity problem. Then we have gone through this stress and anxiety. And today again, we are going to do some yogas, basic yogas for diabetes. Because in our last session, people have told that it is very tough. The moves were very tough. But repeatedly in my session, I'm telling that no need to be in panic. Okay, whatever posters I am showing or I am giving the demo, it's for only for information basis. Okay. Repeatedly, I am telling while doing that you should not be rushing or you should not be in panic, that you should do it as I am doing. Take your time. As long as your body is not attaining that flexibility, you need to see that one. And the day you are achieving the flexibility, then you can perform the yogas postures. Okay. So today, keeping that in mind, I'll be doing simple yogas to counteract diabetes. Okay. But before that, so as I have told, we will have this pumping up the circulatory system of the body by warming up the body. To warm up, we will have our normal jogging. Okay. Bhastrati and Kapalbhati, both. Okay. We'll take in air, inhale air as much as possible, and exhale out with a jerk while doing the jogging. Okay. So our first yoga posture is about warming up the body. We'll warm up the body. We'll have a good circulatory system, blood circulation, and then we will go for the rest postures for diabetes. Okay. All right. So start up jogging. As I've told, for jogging, you need not go anywhere. Let it be bad weather, or let it be raining, or any kind of season. Let it be winter. You can do jogging at your home. Okay. And while doing this jogging, after a minute or two, after doing jogging, you can start this Bhastrati and Kapalbhati. Okay. Bhastrati means taking in air as much as possible and then exhaling out with a jerk. And to confirm that you are taking in air and throwing it out, you can place both of your palms on the belly. Okay. And then you can confirm. When you are inhaling, your belly should come out. That means you are inhaling as much as air is possible. And while exhaling out, it should go in. It should create a suction. Okay. It should create a vacuum so that you can feel that your belly is going into the farthest most position. Okay. So it comes out, it goes in. Like this. In this way, you can practice jogging. Okay. You need not increase your tempo rate. Maintain the rate of your jogging as a steady manner. I've told that yoga needs to be done in a steady rate. Okay. And keep doing both of these postures. Okay, inhaling and exhaling out. This Bhaskarathi and Kapalbhati. While doing jogging, perform these two yoga postures also. Your jogging will become much more effective. Okay, it's not a normal jogging as people do. It's an improvised method of jogging. You see, this way. Perfect. At initial stage, you can practice in this way by keeping both the palms on the belly. Okay, and this you can do for 20 to 30 minutes. Beginners, they can do for 5 to 10 minutes, 10 minutes. 10 minutes is enough for them. They can have a break for 10 to 20 seconds as per they're comfortable. And then again, they can start this jogging. First, start the jogging for a minute or two, and then start these two. Try to accommodate these two postures while doing jogging. Okay. First of all, people will find difficulty in getting synchronized while doing jogging to perform these two yoga postures. That is Bhaskarathi and Kapalbhati. Okay, because it is very obvious you will not be habituated with these postures, because while doing one action, the other two actions to synchronize the other two actions, it is very difficult. But as and when you will be doing slowly, it will become a habit of doing Bhaskarathi and Kapalbhati while doing jogging. Okay, now you see, I have shown a demo by placing both of my palms on my belly. Like this, without putting palms also I can do. This way. As and when you will be doing, slowly you will be getting habituated of doing this Bhaskarathi and Kapalbhati along with jogging. Okay. And as I have claimed that doing jogging with including both of these yoga postures in jogging, it is much more effective. It is much more effective that if you are doing jogging and you are doing jogging for 30 minutes or 40 minutes with these two yoga postures with jogging, it is much more effective. It is very equivalent to doing jogging for 2 weeks. Okay, and you can burn your fat very fastly. But remember one more thing: diet is much important. Before doing any workout, diet should be there. A perfect diet should be there. आहार, जिसको बोलते हैं आहार. अगर आहार है, अगर सही आहार है, तो फिर कोई बात नहीं है. ठीक है ना? Okay, with this, we will settle down and we will move to our today's yoga postures. So, the first yoga that we will be doing today posture is Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. This, I think many in this group might have come across this yoga posture in our earlier sessions. This Bhujangasana, we can do this, as I have told, that a single yoga posture is meant for multi-elements, for encountering multi-elements in our body. So this Bhujangasana or Cobra pose, we can do to overcome this obesity. Simultaneously, it will also help to overcome diabetes and blood pressure. Okay. So we'll start with Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. So what are the contraindications we are having? This contraindications, indications are those people who are having back injury and pain. They should not practice this pose, and also pregnant ladies, they should not, expecting mothers, they should not practice this pose. Okay, so whenever we are taking a break, or we are sitting, or we are having an intermittent period between the postures, try to sit in this posture, or else try to be in the butterfly asana. Relax. Otherwise, this is the best position. This is called Vajrasana. This also I will be showing today. Last time I have shown the demo I have told, but today I will be showing how to do the Vajrasana. So you can go in this asana or butterfly asana to relax. Okay. So for doing Bhujangasana, you need to lay down on the and the whole body weight should come to your belly. Okay, you should lay down on your belly onto the floor. So we lay down on the floor with our belly down. Okay, this way, and our feet should be vertical to the, should be perpendicular to the floor. Both of our feet and toes should be perpendicular to the floor. Be in this position and rest your head, rest your forehead on both the palms. Keep both the palms below to your chin. Okay, and then rest. Okay, make sure that, why I'm telling this one, make sure that you are comfortable in this position. Settle down. See that you are comfortable in the position. Before performing the yoga, you should confirm that you have settled down well. Okay, so that while doing yoga, you should not be adjusting your body. Settle down, make yourself comfortable, and then we will be going for further move. Okay. So before doing this Bhujangasana, what are the benefits that I would like to highlight on the benefits? It increases flexibility and respiratory and digestive processes. Then strengthens the back muscles. This is the back muscles we are having. It strengthens the back muscles and also eases the strain. Whatever strain you are having, because most of the people nowadays, they go for sitting job. Okay, most of the people are having sitting job. They perform their job in their offices. They are having very least body movement in the day. So this will ease the strain and pain after long working hours. So it increases flexibility, respiratory and digestive process, strengthens the back muscles, and eases the strain and pain after long working hours. Okay. So we will start. Okay. So we have settled down. If you are confirming that we have settled down, then we will move both our palms close to our chest. Okay, near to our chest. Move both the palms near to the chest, and see that both of your arms are completely closed. It should not be widespread or wide open. It should be closed. Okay, it should be closed. Close it and bring it to near to the torus of the body. This is the torus, as I have said, the tubular part of the body. Bring it close to the torus of the body, and both your palms should be near to the chest area. Near to the chest area, close the arms. Okay, and then when your head will be onto the floor, start lifting your head. Start lifting your head, and then lift your head. Start moving, and the position and the point where you have reached to the maximum position. Then you start lifting, put effort onto the palm, put effort to the palm, and lift the body slowly. Okay, lift the body slowly. And when you are lifting the body slowly, try that you are putting less effort onto the palms. Try that you are putting less efforts onto the palm, and you are putting effort onto the back muscles. Okay, try to lift the body with lesser effort through hands and more effort to the muscles of the spinal. Okay, from the back muscles. Try to lift by pulling through the back muscles of the spine. Okay, so we will start again. Lift the head to the maximum position, then slightly put effort, and with the back muscles try to lift. Okay, try to lift and keep your face parallel to the wall. And many people, they go directly to this position. Don't lift to this position directly.
because you will be having back pain or airlock in the back. So maintain in this position, maintain the curve. This curve should be there in your arms. Okay. So maintain this curve, and in this curve position, you lift the head and lift your back with the back muscles and maintain the parallelity to your front wall. Okay. Once again, I will tell. Once again, I will show the demo. Take your time. Okay, both the toes straight, backside both the feet straight, toes perpendicular to the floor. And I started moving head. First I lifted the head, then more to the farthest most position. Okay, done. Now slight effort through hands and more effort by the back muscles. Like this. Okay. Maintain the final stage of the pose. This is the final stage of the pose to your capacity. Again, I will repeat, maintain it to your capacity of 3 to 5 breaths. Don't hold your breath. Okay. The most important thing is people, they hold their breaths. Don't hold it. Take breaths, normal breathing. Okay. And while exhaling, lower yourself back to the ground. While exhaling. Okay, so this is the method of doing this Bhujangasana. Okay, so what we should do while doing this, we should try to avoid support of the hands. Okay, try to avoid support of the hands and holding the breath. Don't hold your breath. Okay, take normal breath. Your breath should be very normal, and try to avoid the support of the hands and perform the asana on the strength of the muscles at the back. Okay, and the muscles of the back, neck, and shoulders. With this muscles effort, you should perform this yoga asana. Okay, that with the muscles of the back, neck, and shoulders. So with these muscles, you should try to lift. You should try to keep lifted your body in this position with the help of these muscles, and try to avoid support from the hand. Keep the hand for the support, but effort load should be coming at the minimal. Okay. Again, we will do. Take both the palms near to your chest. Close the arm. Close the arm. And then start lifting. Start lifting. The point where you reach the farthest most position and above to which you can't lift your head, then you start lifting your body. Yes. So this is the position. Okay. Then try to release the support from your hands and put more loading on, or to put more load onto your muscles of the back, neck, and shoulders. And take breaths, normal breaths. Don't hold your breath. Okay. Avoid raising the body rapidly or forcibly. Don't raise the body rapidly or forcibly. And also avoid raising the pupils or eyebrows. Don't lift your pupils or eyebrows. Okay, while doing this, as doing this might strain your eyes. Don't raise your pupils or eyebrows. Remain in this position for 3 to 5 breaths. And while exhaling, release the asana while exhaling the muscles of the back. Okay. This way. So this is the method, right method of doing this Bhujangasana. People practice it in a random manner. Some people, they lift the body at an instant. Okay. Just don't lift your body at an instant. Forcibly also don't do. If you are having some back pain or back injury, do it to the comfortable position or to the comfortable point up to where your body is permitting. Don't try to stretch your body beyond the point where comfortable ends. Okay. Don't go beyond the comfort zone. Fine. So final round. Once more we will be doing this Bhujangasana. You can repeat it for 5 to 6 times. Okay. So holding for 3 to 5 breaths initially, and then slowly you can increase it to 10 to 12 breaths or 10 to 20 breaths. You can stay in that position in the final pose for near about 1 minute also. Okay. So relax. While doing this, you can have a relaxation of 10 to 20 seconds. This 10 to 20 seconds is very important. It is very refreshing also. Relax in this position. Relax all your muscles. You should not stretch your body, or you should not stiffen your body. Your body shouldn't be stiffened. And now, again, we will start. Bring both the palms close to the chest. Close your arms and start lifting. Maintain this curve in the arms. Okay. And then release the support from the palm and put effort onto the muscles of the back, neck, and shoulders. Try to release the support from the hands and be in this position as per your comfortability. Don't strain your body. Repeatedly, I am telling, don't strain your body. Do as per your comfortability. This way, it will increase the flexibility, respiratory, and digestive process. As I have said earlier, not only that, also it will strengthen the back muscles, and it will ease the strain and pain that you get after long working hours. Okay, we will release this asana while relaxing the muscles of the back. Okay, and let the upper portions of abdomen, the ribs, chest, and shoulders come down in that order. While exhaling, slowly you exhale and slowly you come down. Yes, done. So you can repeat this asana for 3 to 5 times in one sitting. Okay. After performing this asana, don't get relaxed or don't come out of the asana very quickly. Take your time, 10 to 15 seconds or 20 seconds. Relax your body, and then we will release our body from this posture. Okay. And always, whenever you are laying down, come to the normal body posture by lifting your body from one side. Okay. Don't give jerk. See the way you're sweating right now, because I am sweating very heavily. Okay. This is the real exercise done by the internal organs, Bhujangasana. So after doing this posture, you might be feeling that relief at your neck, shoulders, and back muscles. Okay. This is a very good yoga posture for those who are having these long working hours in the office, who are having this sitting type of job, and also for counteracting diabetes. Fine. So this is the next yoga posture that we are going to perform is Pavana Muktasana. Okay. Pavana Muktasana means Pavana means the wind, Mukta means free, and Asana pose. So the wind free pose. Okay. So for this, this Pavana Muktasana is also having some contraindications. Expecting mothers or pregnant ladies, they should not practice this Pavana Muktasana, but because here we have to fold our legs towards our abdomen or belly. So for this also, again we will lay down with our back. Okay. Normal we will lay down to the floor with the back of our body. Right? Okay. And this Pavana Muktasana, what are the benefits? Benefits are, it helps relieve your gastric trouble over time. It also energizes the digestive system, restricts the enlargement of the liver. Okay, because of our lifestyle, our fooding, and wrong posture of sitting or sleeping, our liver gets enlargement. So it will restrict the enlargement of liver. Okay, it doesn't allow the growth of the fatty tissues in the abdominal wall. So if you are not having fatty tissues, that means you will be not having diabetes, because these fatty tissues, as I have told, these fat cells are the prime source of cancer cells. Okay, these are prime food source for cancer cells. So if we are if we are coming out of these fatty cells, or if we are counteracting this fatty cells, means we are counteracting these cancer cells or diabetes, rest all whatever elements associated with fatness. So this Pavanamuktasana, for performing this Pavanamuktasana, first of all, lie down on the back with legs together and hands by the sides of the body. Okay, hands by the sides of the body. So by contracting the abdominal muscle, raise both your legs 20 to 30 centimeters, and then we will raise the leg 20 to 30 centimeters, and then we will, after raising up to 20 to 30 centimeters, I will show. Then we will start bending our legs, our knee towards our belly. Okay, and then we will catch hold of both the legs and we will lift our head to the knees. Okay, so this is all about this posture. So keep both the palms near to your body. Okay, close both the arms near to your body, palms down, and lift the leg 20 to 30 centimeters. So this is all about 30 centimeters. After lifting this, you can feel that pull in your belly area. Okay, so having that pull in your belly area, then start holding your knees and bring it near to the chest. Okay, it will not be fully touching your chest, not an issue. Don't try to push more or pull more. Okay, keep it in this position. After reaching to this position, bring both your hands, interlace both your hands, and then close it. Interlace both your hands and then close it. Hold both your hands like this. Interlace. Interlacing the hands means, I think everybody might be well conversant. Interlacing fingers means like this. Interlacing hands means like this. Okay. Interlace both your hands by around these knees. Okay. Both the knees, you should be holding both the knees, and then interlace both of your hands, arms. Okay. So interlace both of the arms. Close the knees to the chest. And for beginners who are not able to do this, don't be in panic. Try slowly, slowly, and then start lifting your head towards the knees. This way. Okay. And in this position, be in this position and see that this curve is being formed. This curve is being formed from head to the back. This curve should be formed in this position. And be in this position. For beginners, you can stay in this position for 20 to 30 seconds. And for those who are having a flexible body, they can go up to 1 minute also. And don't hold your breath. Take normal breath. And feel that lifting. Feel that effort that being taken by the muscles of your back, neck, and shoulders. Okay. And then exhaling slowly. Go back to the original position in a reverse manner. First the head down. Then remove the interlacing of your hands. Put it down. And then release your legs to the same height, 20 centimeters. Hold it in this manner, in this position, and then go down. Yes. So that was all about Pavanamuktasana. So in this way, the way you are going to the final pose, while returning also you should come in the reverse manner. Okay. So this is the method of doing Pavanamuktasana. Method should be perfect. Okay. Method and timing. In yoga, the method and rate is the vital part. So again, we will be starting. First, keep both the palms near to your body. Close both the arms and lift the leg 20 to 30 centimeters. Hold in this position. Confirm that you are reaching to this position, and then start holding your knees. Bring both the knees near to the chest. Okay. And then lift both the hands and place the holding area of your arms near to the knees. Okay. Then press the knees as much as you can. Okay. Don't overstress. and then interlace both your hands. Now you are sure that when you are sure that you have interlaced both your hands and close your knees to the chest, to the farthest most position as much as you can, then start lifting your head towards the knees. This way. And this is the final pose of this Pavana Mukta Asana. Stay in this position for 10 to 20 breaths or 30 seconds for beginners or 1 minute for those who are having a flexible body. Stay in this position with breath, normal breath. Take normal breath. Don't hold your breath. Then, while exhaling, we will come down to the original position in the reverse manner, in the reverse order. First of all, head down, then release the hands, bring it to the floor, take the feet to the same position, 30 centimeters above to the ground, and then reach to the ground. Yes. And we are done with this Pavana Mukta Asana. So this is also a very good yoga posture. This will make your internal organs sweating. Internal organ sweating means not in the form of water, but also in form of toxins. Okay, your internal organs will be sweating a lot of toxins that gets accumulated in the cells, different parts of the body, different cells of the body. Okay. So final round we'll be doing. Bring both the palms near to the body. Lift. Then start bending. Interlace. Close the knees to the chest. Then lift. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Stay for 1 minute or whatever as it is comfortable for individual. Then relax, and come to the original position in the reverse order by exhaling. Release the hands, come back to the original position, and then reach to the ground. And we are done. So you can have this yoga, you can practice this asana 3 to 5 times, maintaining the final posture for 3 to 10 breaths. Okay, you can increase your breath also. You can increase the time or the lagging of time in the final pose. You can increase the time as per the comfortness of your body. Okay. Okay. So after done with this yoga posture, as I have said, don't get or don't come out of this yoga posture or this posture of the body immediately. Be there, be in that position for 5 to 10 seconds, and then come to the sitting position by lifting your body, by turning your body to one side, and then lift your body. Whenever you are laying down onto your abdomen or onto your back, don't come to the sitting position or don't come to the normal position at a jerk or at an instant. Okay, take time. By coupling to one of the side, you can come to the sitting position. Okay. So the next asana that we are going to perform is Vajrasana. Vajrasana or the thunderbolt pose. This is a very basic asana, but it's too much fruitful to everybody who are doing this Vajrasana. This is having no time for doing Vajrasana. Vajrasana is not having any time. In the morning also you can do, in the afternoon also you can do, at evening also you can do, at night also you can do, after food also you can do, before food, after food, not an issue. After food, it is much more beneficial. This is the only yoga pose that can be done after food also, because it helps in digestion. It increases the randomness of the digestive system. It increases the digestive process. Okay, so this Vajrasana is excellent for aiding digestion and relieving all your tummy related problems. It is also great. It is also great if you wish to lose the excess fat around your waist, because this is associated with the digestive system, means digestive process means it is a fat burning process. So if you wish to lose the excess fat around your waist, it helps to boost up the ketosis process. You know what is the ketosis process? Ketosis means when your body starts converting stored fats into ketones to use as fuel for your cells. Okay, those fat will be converted as the fuel for your body cells. So this is the yoga pose which will improve the ketosis process. Okay, so this is called as the Vajrasana or the thunderbolt pose. So what are the contraindications? Those who are having severe knee pain, they should not practice this yoga or have undergone a knee injury. Apart from this knee injury or knee pain, everybody can practice this Vajrasana. This is a very basic asana. You need to stay in this position. Make sure that your buttocks are resting on the heels of the feet. Okay, foot of your foot. You have rested on the heels of your foot, and both the toes should be closed in. Both the toes should be closed in, and sit in this position. Keep both the palms on the thighs, and then relax. While relaxing, you can close your eyes. I will tell what the basic idea of closing the eyes. Maintain your back straight, or if you want to confirm that your body is straight, you can go against the wall and see that your body is straight to the wall. Okay, because your spine should be very straight while resting, while your buttocks are resting on the heels. Your spine should be very straight, neck should be straight, and head should be straight. Be in this straight posture. Keep both the palms on the thighs and close your eyes. The basic idea behind closing the eyes is you can focus your breath, because in this asana, the most vital part is the breath. Very long breath you have to take. Okay, as I've told, breath is the vital part in yoga, because oxygen or air or oxygen, whatever you tell, it should go and it should reach to the mitochondria of our cells. Okay, the maximum oxygen reaching the mitochondria means the most or the better internal organ you are having. Okay. We will sit in this position by keeping both the palms on the thighs. Okay, close your eyes and start taking deep breath. In a steady rate. In a steady rate or in a normal rate, but deep breath. Long in and long out. And what are the benefits of this yoga, this Vajrasana? The benefits are it improves blood circulation in the lower abdominal region. It helps to prevent some types of rheumatic diseases, and also it aids in removing spinal defects to those who are having spinal defects. That also it will help to overcome. It leads to smoothen the movement of ankles. Okay. It will also improve the efficiency of ankles and knee joints while improving blood circulation. It is proved that when you are sitting in this position, you are closing the blood circulation at the bottom part, because you are cutting off, you are having a cut off of the blood circulation from this joint, from this hip joint, because you are closing the rest part of the body, the lower part of the body. So it is proved that our heart, in our earlier sessions also I have said that our heart pumps blood at such a pressure rate that it can pump the blood from the ground floor to the second floor, and it pumps near about 7 liters per minute. So when you are restricting the flow of the blood in this part, that means you are having a efficient blood circulation from this part of the body to the upper part of the body. So you will be having a very good circulation over this. Maximum blood means maximum oxygen in this part of the body. That improves ultimately that improves the digestive process at this abdominal part. Simultaneously, if you are having a good circulation and better oxygen in the blood cells, that means you are having a better fat burning process also. So well digestive process, you are having a improvement in digestive system as well as in fat burning system. So this is the basic principle of this Vajra Asana. When you are sitting in this pose, you are restricting the blood circulation at the lower part by increasing the blood circulation in the abdominal area, by increasing the efficacy of the digestive as well as the fat burning system. Okay, this happens by improving the ketosis process. This is called as improving the ketosis process, where your fat cells are converted into ketones, and those ketones are used as fuel for your cell. So by sitting in this position, keeping both the palms on your thighs and closing your eyes and taking long breaths, deep breaths in and out. You are confirming that you are increasing the efficiency of your digestive system. And with this, you are counteracting diabetes, sugar problem, as well as fatness that leads to have a good health. Okay. So these are all the facts that are associated with Vajra Asana. Okay. So while doing this asana, what the things you should keep in mind, the things that you should keep in mind is that try to avoid by keeping a rolled towel under your ankle joints. As I said, those who are uncomfortable to sit in this position or who are finding some pain in their ankle, they can keep a rolled towel under your ankle joints. These are your ankle joints. You can keep a rolled towel or some cushioning material below your ankle joints. Try to avoid the forward or backward leaning of the torso. This is your torso, tubular part of the body. Don't bend forward or backward. Okay. Or don't try to adjust your position in a way that the body weight. Okay. Always sit in this position and try to adjust your position in a way that the body weight, the full body weight, is experienced down to the spinal column to the buttocks. Okay. You should experience that your body weight is going down to the spinal column to the buttocks, straightly to the buttocks it is going. While sitting in this position, by keeping both the palms on the thighs and maintaining a straight vertebral, you should see that your whole body is experiencing the weight through the spinal column to the buttocks. This is the perfect method of doing Vajrasana. You should feel the weight at the bottom of your base, at the bottom of your buttock, on the heel. So you should feel that weight on your heels. Okay. Okay. So you can do this asana by start sitting in this position for 2 minutes. First of all, you can start with 2 minutes, then have a break. Again, you can do it for 2 minutes. In this way, you can do it for 3 to 5 times, or you can increase it to 5 to 10 minutes also. You can sit in a stretched manner for 10 to 15 minutes, not an issue. The more you are sitting in this position, the more beneficial it is to your body. This is a very basic asana or simple asana that can be practiced by everybody, but only those who are having knee injuries or knee pain, they should avoid this Vajrasana. And those who are having some ankle joint, they can keep some cushioning material or cushionable material at the bottom of their ankle joint. And sit in this position, close your eyes and concentrate on your breath. You should concentrate on the weight that is being felt at the base of your buttock or on the heel, and simultaneously you should concentrate on the breath. Okay, long in and out, long in and out in a steady rate, not in a random rate. Okay. Done. So this was all about Vajrasana. So you can relax. You can relax. Okay. And come down to the original position. And again, for relaxing, you can go to the butterfly position as I've told to relax and again relax. And while doing this Vajrasana, I have forgot to tell one thing. while going to this Vajrasana, don't directly fold your knees and don't directly kneel as I have done. First of all, don't do it. I forgot to tell one thing. I would like to include one more point. While going to this Vajrasana or while going to this kneeling position, as you are kneeling, okay, before going to this kneeling position, you should fold both your legs slowly, slowly to the left, left leg to the left, and right leg to the left, and then reach to the kneeling position. I will show how to do that one. If you are sitting in this position, first of all, hold slowly like this, and then lift and hold like this. And if you are sitting in this Tadasana means, Dandakasana, if you are sitting in this asana means, okay, if you are sitting in this position, better to sit first of all in this position, and then come to this Vajrasana or this kneeling position by folding the left leg towards the left like this, and then right leg, sit onto the heels of the left leg, and then fold right leg like this, and then rest both of the sitting bones onto the heel. So this is the method of coming to this Vajrasana. First of all, you should be sitting with both the legs stretched out. Okay. Then left one of the legs to left leg to the left side and bring it to the buttocks or the base of your body, to the sitting bone, base of the sitting bones. Rest the base of the sitting bone to the heels, and then bend the right leg to the right side. In the same fashion, bring the heel down to the base of the sitting bone, and then rest both of your sitting bones onto the heels. Reach to this position, then maintain this straightness of the spinal. Keep both the palms on the thighs, and then concentrate, close your eyes, and concentrate that the weight from the head is going to the neck, spine, and is reaching to the base of the sitting bone, and finally it is reaching to the heel. Okay, and simultaneously concentrate on the long breath in and out with a steady leg. So this is all about Vajrasana. It's a very simple asana. By seeing it is a very simple asana, but doing is not that easy. You should keep all these things in the mind, and then you should do this Vajrasana. As I told, yoga should be done with the correct method. If you are having the correct method and the correct rate, then it's done. So you can sit in this position for near about 2 minutes, first of all, and then increase it to 5 to 10 minutes. And you can practice this pose throughout the day, whenever you are having time, whenever you are having leisure time, whenever you are gossiping also, wherever you might be, you can perform this asana. You can sit in this position. That will add on to the digestive process, as well as fat burning, as well as encountering this diabetic system also, diabetic problem also. Okay. So one pose, multi-action. As I've told, yogas are not having any side effects, rather they are having side benefits. Always you will be benefited. Okay. Then while coming to the original position, in the same manner, in the reverse manner, you should come out. First, release the right leg, come to the original position, sit down, then release the left leg, and again come to the normal position. Be in this position. Okay, relax for 5 to 10 seconds, and then go to the next posture. So our last but not the least will be the Tadasana or the palm tree pose. Okay, Tadasana. Tad means palm, straight, long, or tall, whatever you can tell. Okay, so this Tadasana. So in my every session, I am telling that yoga, whatever workouts, let it be cardio, or let it be yoga, or let it be aerobics or Zumba, whatever you are doing, keep one thing in mind, that diet is very important. You should maintain the diet. Okay, ahar hi jivan hai. Okay, na? So you should have a balanced diet. Okay, we actually spoil our health by our lifestyle because people don't know what to consume. Okay, as per the lifestyle or as per the day-to-day life or as per the schedules, they spoil their diet. So concentrate on diet. It will tell people that always practice, always try to have a conventional food. Try to have simple foods with low salt or low sugar, because it is proved that high intensity or high intake of salt and sugar will cause creation of cancer cells. Okay, and also diabetes, and also blood pressure. So and also obesity. So all problems are associated with salt, sugar, and oil. So we must have a control. But when you are starting telling people that have a control on all these elements in the diet, they tell that who will take this food? These are all peasant foods. Huh? Rogiyon ka khana hai. This is not rogiyon ka khana. Okay. So this is rather I will tell this that this is yogiyon ka khana. Yogiyon. Yogi means saint. So this is the food of saint. Okay. And saint never fall sick. Okay. Only normal people fall sick because of the improper lifestyle. Fine. So keep that in mind that you are having a balanced diet. Okay. So we have relaxed. Next, we will go for Tadasana. So for going to this Tadasana, we will do it by standing. Okay. So we will go to the standing. This Tadasana is a very basic asana, and it is essential. It is essential to maintain overall body balance. Okay. So this Tadasana can be done. Many people they do by lifting both the hands straight, and many people do it by interlacing the fingers. But the correct method, what I'm going to do, I will show you today. Okay. So what are the contraindications? Don't practice if you have a cardiac condition. Okay. And heart palpitations, and also heartburn. Those who are having heartburn, diarrhea, or dysentery. And women with menorrhagia or this what you are telling metrorrhagia, they should also avoid this asana. Okay. So menorrhagia, I think women might be knowing. Many people they might be knowing what is menorrhagia. Menorrhagia is about these periods having with abnormally heavy or prolonged bleeding, and this metrorrhagia is about having bleeding with regular intervals, in regular intervals. So they should not be practicing this yoga postures. Okay, this Tadasana. And what are the benefits? It relieves gastritis, indigestion, acidity, and also this what I will tell improves the flexibility of the overall spine. You will be having the flexibility in the overall spine. Okay. So how to do this in the side posture? See the side posture of the body first of all. You need to be straight, and both the palms will be close to your body. So this is the side posture. Make sure that you are very straight. Okay. Then from the front part. So this was the side posture. Just to confirm that how to stand straight, you need to be in this posture. Okay. Both the hands straight to the body. So in this way you need to stand. Okay. Well, it is confirmed that you are standing in this position. And visible to everybody, I think. Yes. Okay. So start moving both of your hands. Slowly start lifting. Okay. While lifting, make sure that your palms are facing towards the floor. Okay. After reaching to the shoulder height, this is called the shoulder height. After reaching to the shoulder height, topple the palms, make downside up. Okay. Make the downside up of the palms, and then start lifting furthermore to the top. Okay. And then place it onto the heads. Okay. I think it's not visible. I will make it visible. Right. Okay. So first of all, close the palms to the body. Okay. Then start lifting both the hands with the palms down. Okay. After reaching to the shoulder height, then topple the palms, make downside up, and then reach to the foreheads. Okay. Reach to the crown of the head. Okay. After placing both the palms on the crown of the head. Okay. Then interlace your fingers, twist it, what is the basic principle of doing behind this twisting the interlacing and twisting the fingers is to attain the maximum stretch. Okay, then start lifting. When you are starting lifting, simultaneously you should inhale. While inhaling, slowly, like this, you should stretch. Okay, you should not stretch first of all and then inhale, or first inhale and then stretch, but both the activities should be simultaneously performed. Okay, so interlace, twist, make it upside down, and while stretching upward towards the ceiling or towards the sky, start inhaling. Okay, start inhaling and then stretching. While stretching, when you have reached to the farthest most position at the top, then start lifting both your toes. Sit side like this. Start lifting both your toes. Okay, lift both your heels and reach to your toes, and put both full body weight on your toes. And to have a better support, join both the heels. Okay, join both the heels. You can see both the heels. You can see both the heels. At the back side, it should join like this. Okay, it should join like this. Because if you're keeping it apart, then your full body will be under vibration, or you will be moving backward and forward. Okay, it will disturb the posture of your body. So both the heels should get in contact with each other, touch both the heels, so that your body weight will be focused on that single point, and the gravity will be balanced. Okay, so in this way, you can touch both the heels. You see, is it visible? See, like this, it should touch. Both the heels should touch after lifting. Okay, so we'll start again. Be in this position, and at the initial stage only, you can see, confirm that, make sure that your both the heels are very close to each other, so that after lifting you can contact both the heels. You can take the support of both the heels for balancing the weight of the body when you are reaching onto your toes. Okay, so close both the palms, start lifting. After reaching to the height of the shoulders, make palms upside down, and then reach to the crown of the head. Interlace your fingers, twist it, couple it, make upside down, and with inhalation, stretch. We have stretched to the farthest most position as we can, and then start lifting. Start lifting, reach onto your toes, and then join your heels. Okay. So in this position, side also I will show. So you can stay in this position for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. Repeat after 5 to 10 seconds also. You can take a 5 to 10 seconds break, and you can perform as many repetitions as you can. There is no limitation for this posture. Okay. And while remaining in this posture, there is no restriction for breath. You can take normal breaths. Don't restrict your breaths. See, when you are joining your both the heels, when you are contacting both your heels, then the full body weight is balanced. If you make it apart, if you separate both the heels, then full body will start vibrating. Okay, full body will start shaking. To avoid that shaking, or to avoid the posture of your body, the basic idea of contacting both the heels is to avoid shaking of your body, or the shaking or the disturbance in the posture of the yoga. This is the posture. And again, while exhaling, you should come down, bring both the hands to your head, and then reach to the floor. Both the heels should be reaching the floor. And while relaxing, or while coming out of the asana, again, make both the palms straight and come down to the original position. Okay, in this way. Okay. So this is the way of doing Tadasana, or palm tree pose. Palm tree means long pose. Okay, as long or as tall as you can reach. Okay, you can stretch your body through your toes to the top of the finger. So you can feel that stretch from the tip of the finger to the bottom of the toes. Okay, So the basic idea of this yoga posture is to have a full stretch in your body by performing this posture. So we'll do final, okay, and I will show how to start, how to reach to the position, the stagnation period, how much we should stay in that pose, and then the relaxing position also, okay, releasing posture also. So first close both the palms to your body, then start lifting, reaching to the shoulder height, make upside down the palms and reach to the crown of the head, then interlace your fingers, twist it, couple it, then stretch it with inhalation. Then start lifting both of your foot and reach to your toes. After reaching, join both the heels, okay? And be in this position. While staying in this position, take normal breaths. Take normal breaths. Be in this position for 1 to 2 minutes or as much as you can. Okay. And close and see that both of your arms are close to the head and ears. Okay. In that way, you can have maximum stretch. Okay. Try to pull in every breath. Try to pull your hands through the fingers, through the arms. Try to pull towards the ceiling. Okay. And both of your arms should be close to the head. Okay, there should not be gap like this. Many people do with a gap. Try to close both the arms or try to bring both the arms near to your head. Okay, close it. And with this, with every breath, try to stretch more and more. In this way, stretching in and out, you can have that oscillation in the torus of your body. Okay. Stretching in and out. Like in this way, it's stretching with each breath. Try to stretch a little bit more up and down, up and down. Okay, so that you can have a better stretch. Okay, and you will be having an oscillation in this torso. Okay, so this way you can have that stretch. Okay, now while releasing, exhale out and come down to the forehead, to the crown of the head, and rest your heels to the floor, and then with your palms down, reach to the legs. Okay. So this is the correct method of doing this Tadasana. Once more I will do. Okay, fastly. Like this. Close both the hands. Lift it slowly, slowly. Then upside down. Exhaling, come down, and from there to the normal posture. Okay, so this was all about this Tadasana. So what we have covered today is Bhujangasana, the cobra pose, and then Pavanamuktasana, the wind free pose, then Vajrasana, the thunderbolt pose, and then Tadasana, the palm tree pose. So all these four poses, the yoga poses, are very effective for counteracting this diabetes. As we are counteracting this diabetes, simultaneously it will counteract the obesity problem also. It will add on to the weight loss also, improving the overall digestive system. Okay. So as I said, whenever you are performing yoga, it is not for counteracting a single element of the body. Okay. So with this, we are done today. Okay. Hopefully, I hope that, and I also wish for a great weekend and a great week ahead. And also, as I'm telling in my every session, that focus on your diet, because if you're not having a proper diet and you are doing all workouts, then it is of no use. Okay, you are just training your body. So fuel is important for the body. Okay, so have a balanced diet and a very healthy diet. And to have a balanced diet on health, if you are having any issues or having any doubt, you can reach out to your nutritionist or wellness or fitness coach, Ms. Pragya or Rijwal. With that, I am done today. Hopefully, we'll meet next week. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
So tomorrow we will again meet for our aerobic session. Today we have one session about thyroid and its remedy through weight loss. So if you want to attend, I will share all the details in group. Okay, so bye for today. Have a nice day. And if you have any query, you can reach out to me. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.